I'm Rob. I'm the Chief Product Officer of Chipsboard. Studied design at Kingston University with Rowan. So this is Rowan, he's the CEO of Chipsboard. Both so design, both really interested in sustainability, new materials, and just how you can explore those genres. And then just through that experimentation and exploration, we've developed a biomaterial. So by the same name currently, and then we also have some other new materials in development, all using industrial potato waste.
Started as a university project where Rob was looking at how he could use potato plastics to develop a typeset, and I was working on other fillers for plastics using coffee waste or other agricultural waste to make cardboard, and then realised actually he was originally using like whole potatoes to make the plastic, which is kind of how the online tutorials are. And as a chef, I've been working as a chef for like 9 years. And so I was head chef of a restaurant where we made a lot of chips, and so currently the chefs were throwing the chips away. I was like, why don't I give you all of our chip waste so you can start playing around with this? Then he was developing this material, realised there's loads of extra waste, because for that you just take a really small part of the waste and the rest of it gets chucked still. So looking at all of these big bowls of waste that we had left, and we're like, all right, what can we make with this? And that was like the very early origins of the material, and this vision of actually creating a sustainable product from waste rather than virgin resource. Because a lot of bioplastics have made a lot of change to, instead of using oil so they can still biodegrade, but they're often from virgin supplies, which means you have to have fields and fields or sugarcane or kind of other crops so you can create these bioplastics, which, although it's better, isn't quite as much of a step as we'd like it to be. And so that's kind of the future vision of the company.
So potatoes are amazing vegetables. They have like all these starches and they have all this incredible stuff. So we have two materials that we've created now. So the first one is CSB, so it's an alternative to MDF and chipboard. So that was the sort of the OG material that we created sort of back when we were at university. And so that is still going through a lot of testing, some final research and development, but we're now starting to create a really strong, robust board, which can be used for all the same purposes as MDF and chipboard, so within furniture, pop-up events, so anything that those materials can be used within, you can use our material. End of the life, it is biodegradable. So if you wanted to create something that was maybe a temporary structure, so something that we saw while we were at university was the amount of plinths and various structures that students would build for shows. And at the end of those shows, they'd just be thrown away. With our stuff, you could throw them away, you could put them into compost, and it's almost be a guilt-free disposal of that object because it would biodegrade and break down at the end of its life. And we've also developed a second material which is almost like a plastic. We call it Parblex, and that material is already being adopted by the fashion industry, so we're working with fashion designers to create buttons, glasses and frame manufacturers to create glasses frames, and there's a massive amount of potential with that material as well.
We're actually really interested in the fact like how big could this scale up. So whilst we were at uni, we did an accelerator program, and then we were looking into how much potato waste there is out there, and so started looking at commercial waste. So from McCain, who currently supply us, and they can supply up to 1 million tonnes globally, and they're about a quarter of the industry. So we're looking at 3 to 4 million tonnes of available waste that currently gets sent to either aerobic digestion or pigs as low-grade feed. We're definitely hitting a tipping point where we're taking so many resources from the earth and not giving anything back. And once these materials have been transformed into like refined plastics and non-natural substances, then they become of no use to the rest of the planet. And there needs to be a synergy between everyone, not just humans. Like it's working alongside nature and its cycles is kind of our vision of a material. So you can take a potato, which becomes a chip, and then also becomes a material. So we're getting nutrients, and then also we can create products, and then all of that nutrients from both the human and the material can go back into the earth, which can then become new produce rather than just taking resources and keeping them separate.